It is day almost 30 something of my 30 video challenge. I'm recording 5 days a week and things are looking interesting. I am positively obsessed with this process. I am creatively overflowing with ideas, with concepts, with new goals. I'm constantly setting new editing goals for myself. I am consuming YouTube videos on how to YouTube at a rate that it's concerning, it's alarming, and I kind of love it. I have been creating videos everywhere from my baby's room to my closet to the car to my bedroom where I like to sing. There's a meeting. A little ditty for y'all. I'm proud of myself because I don't have time for this. I just think I want to talk through some of the lessons I'm learning, some of the perspective that has shifted for me about who I get to become in making commitments like this to myself, who I am seeing myself become before my very eyes, and what there is to gain from practicing this level of self-integrity for the purpose of planting seeds now for a future. The fruit that I will bear from the work that I'm doing today, it's probably not going to grow for another year, 2, 3. I know this because I've been in business long enough to see that seeds that I plant intentionally in one season will bear fruit in the most unexpected ways in future seasons, years out. My business today is running off of seeds that I planted 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Those are the kinds of referrals that are showing up in my inbox. Those are the kinds of calls that I get to show up and do special events or speaking engagements because I bothered to have the conversation. I was thoughtful about the rooms that I placed myself in, that I got over the hairy, scary humps of doing things that felt uncomfortable, pushing through in moments where I could have given up or could have shied away, I think is more apt. And now I get to see that my past self has taken care of my future self, which is me now. And so I am doing the same for my next future self in these next 3 to 5 years. I expect the work that I'm doing here on YouTube to not only obviously grow myself on this platform, but to just grow my skills, to grow my self-belief, to expand my skill set. I had no experience at all in doing things like editing videos or thinking about online video strategy. And in a world where everything is becoming video centric, digital video centric, getting some basic experience and forcing myself into a learning process where I have to pick up skills rapidly. And look, I am nobody's professional video editor. I am nobody's cinematographer, script writer, professional speaker, even although I be paid to get, I be paid, although I do get paid to speak. I am establishing a baseline and also reminding myself at 42 that I still have so much to learn, that I still have so much more room to learn, that there are so many new tricks to pick up, and that, you know, that neuroplasticity is plasticizing. That's a technical term. So I'm grateful to the season that I have stepped into willingly. I am grateful to the version of myself today that has decided that I'm worth it and that my ideas are worth it, that the women who my message is meant to reach are worth it, and that, yeah, I'm excited about me now and me in the future. One of the lessons that I am learning right now as a part of this process is how rapidly I can generate ideas if I put myself in a state of flow and commitment to generating ideas. When you have no other choice, you give yourself no other choice. I guess this is one of those burn the boats moments, which I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know why I roll at that whole book in title and concept, because I'm like, okay, the title is the book, but I'm sure there's some historical context and some interesting stories in there. I don't know, but it's just like, okay, I get it. But anyway, this is one of those burn the boats moments where I just made a commitment to myself, and I am really clear on how I want to feel about myself at the end of these 30 days of committing to myself, which is that I can trust myself. I want to look back and see, I said I was going to record 5 days a week for 30 episodes. And that's exactly what I did. And that I didn't just phone it in. That even when in times like this, when I only have like 10, 15 minutes to record, to talk to y'all, to talk to myself in my car, it's more accurate, that I still show up with some intention, that I still show up And I'll do what I can in the editing process afterwards to invite as much engagement as I possibly can to express myself creatively with the tools that I have, however limited they may be, and to have some fun in this process. That I just like the relationship that I'm building with myself in this process, and I'm grateful for that self-investment. I'd say another lesson that I'm learning about myself in this process, this 30 episode challenge, is that I actually like some of the technical nitty gritty. I think I had assumed that aspect of being a YouTube creator, which, I'm 22 videos in, I'm creating on YouTube. But I guess I assumed that this YouTube creator person was someone who was highly technical, who wanted to buy a bunch of gear and learn all the ins and outs of tons of software and lighting and cinematography and editing and the scripting and just the full production. I didn't think of myself as a production person, but what's interesting about that is, like, I had no reason to believe that I wouldn't be into it. Honestly, it makes no sense. And sometimes I think we'll do that when we're at a juncture where we get to decide, do I want to stretch into a new identity? Just like trying it on. And I consider these 30 episodes like me trying it on. We'll decide in advance that that's not us or that's not me. But you've never tried it before, so you have no idea what's you and what's not. We have to give ourselves a chance to try on identities, to get to know ourselves. And I feel like I have unlocked this dimension of myself that I had no idea existed, where I spent, if I didn't have other things going on, just like feeding my children, just the little stuff, having to wash my hair, which I'm so behind on. That's why I'm wearing my fuzzy bucket hat today. If I didn't have like just the responsibilities of life, and also clients who I love to coach, all of the other aspects of my work, my business, my bookkeeper is probably waiting on me right now to get back to her team with some approvals and, reviewing the spreadsheets that they sent me this month. But I would spend all day. I would just spend all day making amazing videos, learning how to make amazing videos, knowing that in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years from now, I would really be doing something because I would just dedicate so much of my time to doing it. And I recognize also that in this process, for me, the reason I feel confident that I could make some good videos, that I have good content to share, is because I've actually been out in the world doing work with women. Like, I know who I am speaking to, and I know the YouTube audience is a lot more broad than the audience that I'm usually like super nichely focused on. But I'm recognizing the connections to how I have done this work for that niche group of women as an executive coach, and how that carries across many people's identities and experiences at varying levels that I get to speak to in this new way, in this new, much more like behind the scenes casual format on YouTube. And I don't know, I just see so many possibilities. And I think that's part of like what also drives this urge to create, to get better at creating, to get better at the technicalities, to learn editing software. Because right now, as I mentioned, and maybe this is like a YouTube no. I don't know. I'm a baby creator. But I use Descript, which has been really handy because I've always used that software for my podcast. I will oftentimes just record inside of Descript. I liked it because I could just, if I needed to pull down a quick clip or just grab the transcript from an existing episode to help me create other content, then it was so easy to do because it's all text-based editing and everything is so user-friendly. It's like the Canva of video editing software, I think. And now I feel like I'm already reaching the limits of Descript, and I only feel that way because I've been hardcore for 4.5, 5 weeks almost now, pushing myself to pump out these videos and having to try various things, or wanting to try various things in my editing styles, and recognizing how many limitations there actually are. Whereas I probably would not have arrived at that if I probably would not have arrived at that for months, maybe not even until the end of the year, if I was only putting out a video every week or two or once a month or something like that. And so yeah, that rapid learning process has shown me a lot about what I am interested in, what I am willing to do. And yeah, the idea that I could do, what is it called? Like, use one of the like more pro editing tools and begin my learning journey there, that's like available to me if I wanted to do that, which I think, I'm going to be a little easy because, as I said, I do have other things I need to be focusing on and that I do love to focus on in my life and in my work. But I like the confidence around that, the confidence that maybe like a month and a half ago, I would have said, no, that editing kind of software, that's like way too advanced for me. The learning curve is too steep. I have too many other things to do. I will never be able to catch up. And it's like, you can. I actually am interested, and I could if I just committed myself to it. And which is also, I think, another learning, I'll call this maybe learning number 3 or 4. I don't even know what we're on at this point, which is that it's been fascinating to discover that a driving force behind me building confidence with being able to, or having the capacity to do something new, something that felt really distant and advanced in the past, how quickly that can be turned on its head by just getting into the process of building, getting into the process of creating. The only reason I feel like I might be able to, or that I could figure out the next level, I don't know what these programs are called, but like something like in Adobe, I think that's what the video editors use. Final Cut Pro, is that it? I don't know. But the only reason I think that I could use something like that now is because I've committed myself to creating at the level, that the entry point that I was at, like creating from where I am and allowing myself to push through to the limit. So I committed myself to the creation. The how you get there will come, and your confidence on how to improve the how to iterate and evolve the how, elevate the how, it will show itself through the process of, again, commitment to the creation, committing to the building. And I just think that like there's a bigger lesson in there for anyone who is feeling doubtful about being able to acquire the skills or the strengths that they might have counted themselves out from. And so, anyway, this is a short video. It's not my best, but I've made a commitment, and this is the only time and slot that I have, which is these like 10-15 minutes here, as I sit outside the grocery store, because I do need to indeed feed my children, and that is what I'm about to do. I will see you tomorrow.